print-on-demand Valentine's Day sales are blowing up, and it's not too late for you to capitalize on this huge spike in demand. According to the National Retail Federation, Valentine's Day spending in the US was expected to reach a record $27.5 billion in 2025, with so many people making online purchases for their partners, friends, coworkers, and themselves. This is a huge opportunity for print-on-demand sellers to capitalize on the first major shopping occasion of the year. The question is, are you going to capitalize on this huge spike in demand? In this episode, we're revealing 3 top-selling print-on-demand products that are going to dominate this Valentine's Day and sharing 3 profitable Valentine's Day sub-niches that you can capitalize on to make more sales and grow your brand. My name is Adrian here with my co-host Carlos Colon. Welcome to the Print On Demand podcast, a show dedicated to helping you make money online with Shopify and print on demand. Welcome to the Print On Demand podcast. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we love hanging out with you guys. Today, we are talking about the top print on demand products to sell for Valentine's Day. I see Carlos is in the Valentine spirit, rocking a bright red shirt to mark the occasion. Carlos, are you ready to talk all things Valentine's Day?
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right. So this episode is going to be broken up into 2 parts. So first of all, we're going to talk about 3 top selling print on demand products that are going to dominate this Valentine's Day based on search and sales data. And then secondly, we're going to talk about 3 profitable Valentine's Day sub-niches. Some you may not have heard of, but can be very profitable. So let's just jump right in. I don't think a lot of people realize that Valentine's Day is actually one of the biggest shopping occasions of the freaking year. Yeah. Carlos, do you agree? It seems like
it kind of flies under the radar, I feel like, as like a sales opportunity, I think.
Yes.
It doesn't fly under the radar at all in terms of when it comes up and how many people are participating in it, but definitely the sales opportunity. I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah. And to prove this, we like to share the data so that you don't just hear this from us, but you hear this from the data. So I've got some fun facts to share with you to give you an idea of just how big Valentine's Day is in just the US alone. I want to share some fun facts. These are from the National Retail Federation's report. So get this, Carlos. Valentine's Day spending in the US was expected to reach a record $27.5 billion in 2025. That equates with shoppers planning to spend $188 on average on this holiday. Now, obviously, that is scattered across a number of different categories. You got flowers, you got chocolates, all the usual suspects. But get this, 32% plan to purchase gifts for friends, something a lot of people don't think about, right? We just think about our partners, we think about ourselves, but a lot of people are purchasing gifts for friends. 19% expect to purchase gifts for coworkers, and 38% of people are choosing to shop for those gifts nowhere else than online. And this is a huge opportunity for us print-on-demand sellers who can quickly release designs, quickly release products, and quickly get them in front of our target audience in a very short period of time. So is there anything you want to add to that, Carlos, before I keep moving on?
Yeah. So I just pulled up the Halloween stats. Just to give it in perspective, Valentine's Day spending in the US was expected to reach a record $27.5 billion in 2025. Halloween spending was expected to reach $13.1 billion.
Wow.
So this is more than double the spending of Halloween, just to put it in perspective. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because people have to spend on something between January and February. There's not a lot in terms of big major events, right? And so it makes sense. But that just to put in perspective, it's double the spending, more than double the spending expected for Halloween.
That was a really cool stat. Thank you for sharing that. Now, we know that Valentine's Day is massive, all right? We've shown you the data. Now, let's talk about 3 top-selling print-on-demand products that are going to dominate Valentine's Day this year in 2026. So this is based on search and sales data, and I'm just going to list the 3, and then we're going to break them down, all right? So First, Valentine's Day jewelry. Come on, guys. Like jewelry on Valentine's Day, this might be the most hand-in-hand type of gift you could possibly get. It might be for your partner. Most likely it is. But hey, a lot of us could get it for ourselves. A lot of people could get it for themselves too.
Totally.
Number 2 is Valentine's Day sweatshirts. We got to talk about these because these are huge. And number 3 is Valentine's Day art. So we're going to talk more about that as well. Hey, if you're getting value out of this podcast, I think you'll love my YouTube channel at adrian.vonarks, which I've linked below. There I drop weekly content and full tutorials on the latest product trends, design trends, and sales strategies to make money online with Shopify and print on demand. Like this podcast, there's no fluff, no BS, and no gatekeeping. Just proven, repeatable strategies and content to make more sales and grow your brand. You can check out my YouTube channel by clicking the link in the show notes below or by going to ecomlegendsacademy.com/YouTube. And now back to the show. These 3 products are not only popular for people to buy for themselves, but they're also super giftable.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize that. Super giftable, all right? You could target 2 different kind of categories of customer here, right? You could target your customers buying things for themselves, or you can target them with gifts for a friend, a coworker, partner, a family member, whatever. So let's talk about print-on-demand jewelry. So this is, I would say, a very under-the-radar print-on-demand product. And there's actually some people absolutely crushing it, selling print-on-demand jewelry. There are big brands, like big print-on-demand companies whose essentially existence is based around jewelry. And the first one that comes to mind is Shine On. Like Shine On is a print-on-demand company that is known for jewelry. And if I was only gonna sell jewelry, I might just go to Shine On and do it. If I could only choose one print-on-demand company and I was only gonna sell jewelry, I might go to Shine On because they have a big selection. This is like their core product. This is their bread and butter. And they do have other products as well, but that's kind of how they've separated themselves, differentiated themselves, so to speak, is with print-on-demand jewelry. Now, Printify, I also want to mention this because Printify recently, they didn't used to have a lot of jewelry. And that was, I would say, one of their weak spots if you cared about selling jewelry. A lot of people don't care. If you're an apparel brand, or if you're selling wall art, if you're selling home decor, you might not care about selling jewelry. But if you do sell jewelry and you're using Printify or you want to, you'll be happy to know that they recently released a bunch of new engraved necklaces, engraved bracelets, and even offer print-on-demand jewelry boxes. Now, some of the benefits of jewelry that you may or may not have thought about is 1, it's small and lightweight, making it very cheap for shipping. This is huge, right?
It's awesome.
If you're gonna ship a hoodie or a sweatshirt, expect to pay a lot more than if you're gonna ship jewelry. And
totally,
you shouldn't be paying it, right? Like we want you to pass that shipping cost onto the customer, because if you don't, then that cuts into your profit margins, right? But it makes it cheaper for the customer, right? Which is obviously appealing.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to mention, this is maybe the biggest reason, probably the single biggest reason why someone might want to consider selling jewelry. And that's just because it has a very high perceived value. And many times, a lot of these print-on-demand jewelry products are actually very cheap. Like they're very affordable, but they're still quality products, right? You're getting these products from a large company and the base costs are usually very low for them, and you can mark them up usually by multiple times. So having that high perceived value and a low production cost for what you could sell it for, that generally leads to higher profits, higher profit margins. Carlos, over to you. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I love the idea of jewelry because it's small and lightweight, so easy to ship, cheap to ship. It, like you said, it's got a high perceived value, so you can mark it up quite a bit from what the production cost is. And I think the biggest thing is if you're gonna do Valentine's Day jewelry, try to take a concept that's already proven. And don't go crazy with it. If it's not your core product, don't go crazy with it. Just add designs that make sense, that are already winners, just to test out for your customers, right?
Right. Yeah, Totally. The last thing I want to say is it's also super giftable. So we've actually sold quite a bit of jewelry ourselves, print-on-demand jewelry, and even jewelry that we actually had. So we couldn't find an engraver for a certain jewelry item that we wanted to sell. So we actually went out and we sourced an engraver and we had them create this unique jewelry item for us, engraved, which you could probably get now with print-on-demand. And we sold some, but we had to buy a minimum order quantity, and we didn't sell them nearly as quickly as we thought we would. And so we ended up sitting on those costs. Just a lesson learned, and why we're so bullish on print on demand.
Just for specifics too, I think the minimum order was around 50, but I mean, it really depends on who you go with. And I think that was like a smaller independent jeweler, but your minimum order quantities might even be higher than 50. They might even be like 100 or more.
And we just wanted to test it. We didn't have proof of concept. Yeah. That's another reason why we love print on demand. You can test before you invest, right? We invested before we tested, and now we know that was backwards. I would not do that again. So, all right, let's move on to product number 2, and that's Valentine's Day sweatshirts. Y'all, sweatshirts sell well all year round, especially in the colder months. And keep in mind, Valentine's Day is in February. It's still freaking cold in most parts of the US and a lot of parts around the world. Aside from gifting sweatshirts for Valentine's Day, many people purchase Valentine's Day inspired sweatshirts for themselves. So again, we have two sort of categories of buyers here, right? We have people buying sweatshirts for friends, family members, coworkers, and then we have that sort of gifting category, right? People who are gifting. And keep in mind, if someone is in a particular niche that they're very passionate about, they're probably hanging out with other people in that same niche that are also passionate about it, right? And so many times when they are getting gifts for friends, they're in that same niche. So it would make sense. Maybe they're subscribed to your email list and they're getting all your cool new arrival emails, and they see something that they think is perfect for a friend, or maybe for a group of friends, including themselves, right? There's so many ways you could go with this, but I want to share kind of some popular styles that we see selling well for Valentine's Day sweatshirts. So 2 in particular that really stick out are the Gildan 18,000 crewneck sweatshirt. This is Printify's best-selling sweatshirt, one of Printful's best-selling sweatshirts, and the Comfort Colors 1566 sweatshirt. So Comfort Colors has just gone to a whole new level over the last 1 to 2 years, and they are still just like a viral style trend right now. Comfort Colors tees, Comfort Colors sweatshirts, and the Comfort Colors 1566 sweatshirt is actually the second best selling sweatshirt in Printify, only after the Gildan 18,000. So these are the top 2, right? Mass appeal. The Gildan 18,000 has a much lower production cost, so most people will sell it for a little bit less. The Comfort Colors 1566 is going to be more premium. So you'll want to charge a higher cost so that you have a healthy profit margin, healthy amount of profit per sweatshirt. So you choose if you want to go, if you want to go the more affordable route, or if you want to go the more premium route, or you want to test both, right? And see what people like. Some classic trendy colors for Valentine's Day that we see do well every year, not just this year, every year. Red, white, pink, light gray, all huge Valentine's Day bangers, like best-selling colors. However, khaki colors like the color sand with the Gildan 18,000 and like the color ivory for Comfort Colors, these are also really trendy this year. So if you're looking for an on-trend color, this is something I would go with. If you are looking for seasonal, tried and true, then red, white, pink, light gray. Carlos, anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, the only thing I'd add to it is that every event is also an opportunity, like Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day. All these events are also opportunities to bring back your best sellers and add a little spin to them, add a little twist to them, remix them, and make them Valentine's Day appropriate, or make them Christmas Day appropriate, or Halloween appropriate. And I think that this is a huge opportunity for sweatshirts, for instance. Any bestseller apparel items to spin it to like Valentine's Day. And sometimes it just means changing the color.
Totally.
Right?
Or
it can
adding
be
a
very
couple
simple.
hearts.
Yeah, or adding some
heart
hearts. Yep, exactly.
Take a bestseller, remix it with some hearts and a Valentine's Day color. Boom. There you
Boom.
go. You've got a totally new
Exactly.
design for a specific holiday. And we actually see that quite a bit. So we're big advocates of remixing bestsellers and making them seasonal. Why not? Like, they say success leaves clues, make part twos. You can do that for designs, right? Success leaves clues. You create a winning design. Guess what? There was magic there. There was magic there that we can actually take, and many times we can repeat. Just put a little, change the formula slightly, and boom. Many times you can have another winner. We've experienced this ourselves. And we've seen others experience this as well, where they have a really viral slogan, a winning slogan, and they'll just change out like one word or a couple words or even just some graphics, and it can do really well. So I'm glad you brought that up. All right, let's talk about category number 3, and that is Valentine's Day art. So when I'm talking about Valentine's Day art, I'm specifically referring to posters and canvas wall art. Primarily, like these are really popular home decor products. We know home decor is currently the fastest growing product category in print on demand. So this is a huge opportunity, especially if this is your core product. Like if this is what you sell as your core product, either posters, wall art, or both, then leverage this opportunity, because there's a lot of people buying wall art right now for this occasion. So specifically, there's a number of wall arts that sell well, another wall art kind of styles. One that sells really well around Valentine's Day is personalized wall art, because they make the perfect gift, right? If you're in the couples niche or some sort of relationship niche or love niche, maybe you have this personalized wall art where someone can have the location of their first date spot or something like that. Maybe it's hand sketched, and you can use a tool like Kittl or Playground to create a sketched version of a photo, and then you can offer that, right? This is just one of many examples. Another is just Valentine's Day inspired home decor products. So this would be more general, not personalized. It would be more of like a love inspired product. So an example, I'm just like thinking off the top of my head. Let's say you're in the dog niche and you create fleece blankets that have like a funny dog slogan or dog graphics along with hearts or something Valentine's Z, right? Like this would be a way that you can blend your existing niche, the dog niche, with a popular special occasion where the attention is right now, and you can actually create a product for both. And having been in the dog niche and sold Valentine's Day dog products, I can validate that this does work. It's actually quite a big market. So if you are in a pet niche, like dogs, cats, don't overlook this special occasion. A lot of people, they're gonna have funny slogans that say, my dog is my Valentine, or something funny and cute like that, right? Let's move on to the next part. So we've talked about Valentine's Day. This is like where the attention is. This is the big kahuna. But there's a couple lesser known sub-niches of Valentine's Day that some print-on-demand sellers are heavily profiting on. And that could be you. Hopefully that is you. So I want to share these very popular 3 sub-niches that don't get nearly as much love as Valentine's Day, pun intended, because this might be an opportunity for you to create differentiated products, right? So the first one, you may or may not have heard about this. This is called Valentine's Day. And I'm pretty sure this was actually made like a thing, like went viral from a famous actress on a popular TV show. And was it Parks? I forget what the name of the TV show was, but I think it was Amy Poehler, who kind of like made this occasion go viral. So Valentine's Day is an unofficial holiday celebrated on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And according to a Printify blog article, Valentine's Day is the ultimate celebration of friendship and love between best friends, gal pals, and wonderful women. So this is very female focused. This day is all about showering your favorite ladies with thoughtful Valentine's Day gifts that say you're amazing and I adore you. Again, huge gifting opportunity, right? This is exactly what a lot of people are doing. So common ways to celebrate this holiday are through brunches, spa days, movie nights, and of course, gift exchanges. So some popular print-on-demand products for Valentine's Day are t-shirts and sweatshirts, but there are also a lot of non-apparel products that can also sell well, like glassware. I've seen some best-selling Valentine's Day inspired glassware. I actually recently saw a best-selling Gildan 18,000 crewneck sweatshirt as well that was Valentine's Day focus. It was featured in the color sand. So we mentioned, khaki is huge in the year 2026. That said Valentine Social Club, playing on that funny or that trendy social club slogan that's been really, really big in the last year. All right. Let's jump into Valentine's Day subniche number 2, anti-Valentine's Day. And in case you're wondering, it's exactly what it sounds like. So this is a lesser known spin-off of Valentine's Day. And this is where many people, they're going to be buying for themselves usually. So usually the people wearing this, they're buying these things for themselves. And they're going to be rocking anti-Valentine's Day products with anti-Valentine's Day slogans. And it's funny because there's still, you can still capitalize on Valentine's Day and sell to the anti-Valentine's Day crew. Now, many times it's going to be bigger for people who are single, not in a relationship. I don't know how happy your partner would be if they saw you wearing a shirt that said Cupid rhymes with stupid or some other funny anti-Valentine's Day slogan, right? But this is going to be really big for the single crowd or people that just don't like the holiday. Some people, they're just they're not about the love, and whatever, each to their own, right? But some funny anti-Valentine's Day designs I've seen that I thought were pretty funny was Not Today Cupid. I think that's hilarious. Yeah. And sometimes it'll show a flying Cupid with an arrow, right? Another one, Love is in the Air, Try Not to Breathe. This was another bestseller that I saw. That was, oh man, this stuff makes me laugh. There's so many creative people out there and they're profiting from this. Or there's people out there that are researching, reverse engineering, and recreating original designs inspired by winners for their niche, which is what we do and what we recommend people do, right? T-shirts and sweatshirts are really popular for this particular niche. Those are the two products that we probably see selling the best. There are just a number of other print-on-demand products that this could work for, but those are the two print-on-demand products that I see kind of people rocking the most. Carlos, anything you want to add to the anti-Valentine's Day conversation?
Nothing I want to really add to that. I mean, these kind of spin-offs, these are great to keep in mind because they're ways of making it more humorous. The anti-Valentine's Day and the Galentine's Day, they make it funner almost, having these kinds of spins or mixes on designs, on traditional type Valentine's designs, like the Cupid design, right?
Right.
I think that just keep in mind, do your research and look for bestsellers to take inspiration from. Because there's probably a million other ones, but just research the bestsellers.
Yeah, I really like that tip. Another pro tip, I'm going to go back to the dog niche because it's just such a good, easy example to use. You could definitely blend anti-Valentine's Day with the dog niche, right? You could have some funny anti-Valentine's Day slogan and it's a dog. Maybe it's a dog Cupid shooting an arrow, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, right? But there's so many ways, creative ways. I actually don't recommend going super broad, right? You serve a particular audience. They expect you have become known to them for bringing them incredible products that align with their values, beliefs, and passions. Yeah. You can still do this by capitalizing on these special occasions while still serving them with these hyper relevant products. And many times they'll show up for you. If it's actually a product that has mass appeal with that target audience, then many times they'll show up and you can make a lot of sales from this. So, it's funny to say we made a lot of sales in the dog niche of Valentine's Day inspired designs because you wouldn't really think. You're Valentine's Day is usually about humans, right? But we were able to repurpose it for the dog niche and make a lot of sales. And totally. I believe that a lot of people can in a lot of different niches. So with that, we're going to bring it home with the third sub niche, the third Valentine's Day sub niche, and that is the self-love niche. So this is sort of a niche on its own, self-love. However, around Valentine's Day, when love is in the air, there seems to be more attention on it. And self-love, aside from being a popular niche all year round, it does seem to be a little more popular around Valentine's Day when we're talking about the theme of love. When everywhere we look, there's love, right? So instead of celebrating love for others, many are choosing to celebrate love for themselves. And I think that's super cool personally. And products like these can sell very, very well, right? So some popular self-love designs that I've seen, some kind of slogans are self-love club, in my self-love era. And I've also seen people, I think this is really clever, I've seen people blending the mental health niche with self-love designs that are Valentine's Day inspired. And that to me makes so much sense.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So much sense, right? A couple products that we see selling really well in the self-love niche, even though it can sell on so many different products. I have to keep saying that because I'm not saying these are the only products that'll sell on, but the products that we see, kind of massive products we see it selling really well with are t-shirts and sweatshirts. Very popular for this sub niche. So like a sweatshirt that says self-love club or in my self-love era. Now, I don't know if those are trademarked. Go check it out on uspto.gov if you're going to try to use those. But these, again, the self-love niche, I feel like could be blended with so many different niches. Like we gave you that example of the mental health niche, right?
Yep.
But there's so many other ones that this could work. Maybe it's spirituality, maybe it's religion. There's so many different ones that I feel like this could just be so like complementary of. All right, well, let's bring it home. We're gonna drop 2 pro tips on you guys. So if you're still listening, we're giving you 2 pro tips that we want you to go and take and just ride with these, just roll with these, okay? So when it comes to creating products for a new season, holiday, or special occasion, we always recommend trying to release those products 60 to 90 days prior to the occasion. Now, when you're listening to this, it will be less than 60 to 90 days, and that's okay. There's still a window of opportunity where you can actually roll out designs. Again, one of the many beauties of print on demand. You could have designs by end of today on your website, ready to go, ready to sell, right? But like planning ahead, we do recommend having your designs ready to go 60 to 90 days prior. There's a number of reasons for this. You know, you want to have plenty of time to market the product, time for people to discover it, to receive it. Many times people want to wear these products leading up to the occasion. They don't just want to wear it on the occasion itself, right? Maybe they're going to be gifting it, so they want to get it in advance so that they're not stressing about being able to give this gift to a friend. They have time to wrap it up, you know, arrange a time to meet up with them and then give them this gift. There's so many different reasons why this just makes a lot of sense. Plus, the first time you start marketing these products, many of your customers, many of your target audience aren't going to see them, right? So you're going to want to market them multiple times over a period leading up to the occasion. Pro tip 2, we always recommend blending special occasion designs like Valentine's Day with your particular niche. I hope we made that very clear. The riches are in the niches. If you are serving a passionate audience of individuals around a niche, every product and every piece of content that you create should serve that audience. That's why they show up for you. That's why they follow you. That's why they love your brand. That's why they feel like your brand was made for them, right? This is how you can differentiate from all the broad niche, no niche, products and designs out there, how you can plant a flag in the sand and you can dominate a particular niche, right? This is a very powerful sales strategy, blending these special occasions with your particular niche, because this allows you to capitalize on the trend while creating differentiated products, meaning way less competition and designs that are hyper relevant for your target audience. For example, if you're in the dog niche, incorporate dogs into the slogan or designs. Like we mentioned earlier, we've personally had success with this in the dog niche. So we're speaking from experience here. With that, We hope you guys love this episode. We hope you guys absolutely crush on Valentine's Day sales. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Remember, start before you're ready, take imperfect action, and know that you're always one design away.
Hey, if you're loving the Apprentice Man podcast and want more, please help us out by rating this on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening from. It only takes a minute, and this is one of the best ways to support the show and let us know that you're enjoying these weekly episodes. Thank you in advance, and we'll talk soon.